Hi, welcome back. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Helen from Just Saying Mum, and I'm here today again with Sarah and Jayne.
Hi.
But we're not talking about parenting issues today. We're doing something a bit different. Some of you may have seen on my Instagram feed today and on Twitter that I'm starting a new series of a kind of Just Saying Mum does a TV chat show style programme on what are other bloggers doing, vloggers doing, women in careers doing, anything of interest, not just women, men as well, anything of interest to other people really that might inspire you. So I thought I'd bring Sarah and Jayne back.
Sorry,
and
but that
and
looks
Moni.
quite strange with what she's stroking.
I'm stroking and moaning. She's with us as well. I'm not just stroking Jayne's lap. So I thought I'd invite Sarah and Jayne. I need help. I thought I'd invite, let's be serious. I thought I'd invite Sarah and Jayne back today to talk about what their talking therapist is all about. I think sometimes we have these lovely chats about helping children, and I thought it'd be quite useful to sort of say, okay, what is talking therapy, and do people need it, and do people want to become talking therapists? Is it something that's interesting to people? So, Sarah, do you want to start and tell me a little bit about what talking therapy actually is?
It is actually exactly what it sounds like. It
Okay.
is a style of counselling that involves a client talking to their therapist in its purest form, I suppose. It obviously will involve discussions between the client and the therapist.
Okay.
Probably quite a lot of introspection by the client.
Right.
Hopefully some real revelations
Yeah.
will sort of come out, all of which sort of form the therapeutic process of talking therapy.
Okay.
It
is what it says it
is
is.
a
Okay.
pure
I
form
know,
of talking.
but it's still quite.
Exactly.
It's nice to explain, that little bit more than just.
There are various forms of it.
Oh right.
To
Okay.
be honest, it's not just one sort of.
I'm wiggling.
No, it's not just one form of therapy, and some will appeal more to certain types of people than others. Because
Okay.
we're all different, obviously.
Yes.
And they do employ different disciplines. More common, probably more commonly heard ones, CBT, which you may have heard of,
Yes.
cognitive behaviour therapy,
Yes.
and one that is very sort of the moment is mindfulness, and you may have heard of that
Yes.
as
Actually,
well. They are two
Okay.
forms of what are just called talking therapies, really.
right. I'm going to come back to that actually because I've heard a lot about CBT, and I think I know what it is, but I'm not 100%. So I'd quite like you to. I'm actually really interested in what it actually is. So CBT, I think it stands for
Cognitive
behavioural
Behavioural
therapy. So what is that in idiot guides?
In layman's
Oh, okay.
terms, it's
Thank you, Jayne.
in layman's terms, it's helping the client actually understand their own thoughts and feelings,
Okay.
and how those thoughts and feelings influence their behaviours. Now, those behaviours could be positive in some circumstances, or they could be quite negative and damaging in other circumstances.
Their behaviours could be.
Their behaviours
Right, okay.
could be to themselves
Oh, to
because
themselves,
of
not to
their
other people.
not to other people, but to
Okay, to
themselves
themselves. So
because of
it's-
their own thoughts
right,
and feelings.
Okay.
So what we do is we actually look back at those negative stroke destructive thoughts and feelings and try to help the client to change those so that when those issues arise again or similar things, the client actually looks at it in a different way, behaviour is different, and therefore the outcome is actually different and more positive for them.
And you help them through that process, which I
Yes.
can't imagine is always easy for them to perhaps see the
No.
destructive, not behaviour, destructive reaction. I suppose that's not very easy sometimes, is it, for them to
No,
appreciate?
because for
and you
years,
help them identify
absolutely,
that.
because for
Okay.
years they may well have been using those coping strategies to help them through things. One that is used commonly is with people actually making fun of themselves all the time before other people do, and it's allowing them to laugh along with other people rather than having people just laughing at them. It's a full-on coping strategy.
And not very good for them
Not
inside,
necessarily
not
very good
okay.
for them. Not bad all the time, but not
Alright.
necessarily always good for them. So it would be good to go back and look at those thoughts and processes and see whether you can actually help them change that to move them forward.
So so that's your cognitive behavioural therapy, and then I know, I have to concentrate. And mindfulness. I've heard lots about. And there's lots of that over social media at the moment. I've heard a lot about mindfulness. Quite hard to do. I would find it quite hard to live my life mindfully every day when I've got 3 children, a
Well, it's
dog, a
interesting you
husband,
say
not in
that
that
because
order.
it's used in yoga and meditation a lot, because I think it's taking a sort of time that you can allocate to yourself, which, you know, as you say, people find hard. But it's almost rewarding yourself with that bit of time. And people in sort of highly stressed jobs very often are sort of taught to try to employ mindfulness, so they take that time for themselves.
And yes, definitely.
It's all to do with sort of centering yourself in the moment.
Yes. Okay, so
and
now
not letting
I've
other
heard a lot
stuff
about it.
invade.
Okay, I do like that concept of mindfulness. I think I need to look into that more, and I can imagine how that would really help people focus a bit more on themselves.
Which is a slight sort of offshoot.
Okay.
I think it's a good way for everybody to learn to try and live their life with a little bit of mindfulness for themselves.
Yes,
each and every day.
Okay, all right. No, I can look into some more of that. So thank you. Anything else?
Well, another one that we actually use quite a lot is PCT, which is person-centred therapy, which is particularly good when a client comes to you, which is normally in crisis, which is why they seek help to start with. And basically, what it does is it just allows the client to offload where they are, what their issues are. And as a therapist, you can also sort of sit back. You don't do very much talking in this one at all. It's more of a looking at the client, but not just at what they're... Active listening is actually what it's called.
Sit back and just,
But that doesn't just mean actually what the words that are being said. It's looking at their body language, looking at their facial expressions, and then trying to piece all of that together to understand their sort of thoughts and processes now, in order, before you can then perhaps use one of the other therapy types to then take them further back.
So you wouldn't just use one type of therapy with a client. You'd look at integrating lots of. Okay, that's just so interesting, and I'm sure there's lots of people that would be not only wanting to perhaps seek talking therapy. I don't think you talk about it being in crisis. I imagine people. I think I'd love some talking therapy, and I'm not in crisis. Just sometimes quite a therapeutic. Process.
I mean,
really.
The ideal scenario is that somebody actually seeks sort of support.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yes,
no.
From that point of view.
Seek support at the beginning of their sort of journey.
Yes, and so if people, Lamoni's biting my hand. Sorry. And so if people were interested in seeking talking therapies for themselves, how would they go about that?
Well, if they're local to us in Essex, then
definitely.
Links,
there'll be links on the end of the vlog and on most of my social media feeds, actually.
But for anybody really that needs support, if they have access to a computer, I mean, if they search counsellors, therapists in their area,
counsellors in
and
general,
then I think it's just a case of looking at websites, seeing who you sort of think you might feel okay with. I mean, it is difficult, isn't it?
And I suppose if people are interested in talking therapies, if you want to get in touch with either myself or Jane and Sarah through BE Therapy, we can message them directly, and you could probably put them in the right direction, whether they wanted talking therapy or they were quite interested in it as a career. Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, girls, thank you so much. Welcome. I am going to pull you back soon for some more chats about parenting, not just about talking therapy, I promise. But thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Hope you find it a bit interesting. Thank you. Bye.